So welcome everyone to this little class, little introductory class, how to align with your life purpose. This class is an introduction to a 6-week online group journey that I'm offering, which is called Luminous Life Purpose Alignment, which will teach you the full process of how to align with your life purpose. But what we're going to do tonight is show you what the heck I'm talking about. What is this? How do you do it? How does it work? And how does it help? So, where are you at in your life right now, right? There may be something in particular that is calling to you about this work. Here are my guesses about what might be calling to you. And after I read them out, you may want to put what's actually going on for you or what your actual curiosity is in the chat. But you may have big meaning of life questions, right? Like, what is the meaning of my life? What do I have to contribute? Will I feel complete and fulfilled by the end of my life? Is there more to do than what I've already done? Where should I focus my time and effort? And how do I do work that feels nourishing and meaningful or that feels like it's on task? What's my calling? Do I even have a calling? Is that a real thing, or are we all just kind of here on this planet rumbling around, or is there something specific we're here to do and to offer? And then how do you take that down to a day-to-day experience? What do I wake up and do every day that moves me in the direction of purpose and contribution? What's my daily routine? Is there a daily habit or focus or intention that I can hold that keeps us moving in that direction? And of course, how do I feel happy? How do I feel joyful, satisfied, and engaged in this life? So if there's something in particular that's not on this list, feel free to pop that in the chat because I would love to hear what your questions are, what your struggles are around knowing your life purpose. So if it's time for you to get clear about your life purpose, it's always a good time, but right now feels particularly poignant. It's kind of an intense time in the world. We're all aware of the ecological crisis, the climate change. There's issues like women's reproductive rights, violence, the worldwide housing crisis, the widening gap between those who have and those who have not. There's never any lack of things that are challenging in the world that may pull on our heart, pull on our compassion, and pull on our desire to contribute and help in some way. You're probably a compassionate person who wants to help and do your part, but it's really easy to get overwhelmed by it all. So where do we start? What do we do that can be our particular contribution that's going to make the biggest difference? Exactly what are you meant to do here, and where can you best contribute? That is your life purpose. But what is it? What exactly is your meaningful mission? I'm just going to read here. Some of you popped something into the Yes, what makes me happy? What is my purpose? Balancing purpose and day jobs. Yes, because sometimes what we do during the day that may be how we earn our livelihood doesn't always feel like it's the fulfillment. It doesn't always feel like it's really what is most poignant for us. Right. So your life purpose is the most important thing that you can do or be in your life. It is not always necessarily more stuff you have to put on your to-do list or more actions. So why aren't we taught to clearly know it, right? If this is the most important thing that we can be focusing on in our life in this incarnation, how come there's been so little guidance on how to do it? I don't know if you've ever had any particular guidance on this, but I'm guessing the most you might have had when you were in school was a guidance counselor who pointed you towards different JOBs that you might align with. So it's the secret to feeling fulfilled is to do what you came to do. Okay, so what am I going to share in this class? There is a powerful way that I can help you align with and reveal your life purpose. how you are put together as a human being and where to find your life purpose alignment within that design. So how are you put together? We know you have a physical body, but you have all these energy bodies, and where within that is this thing called your life purpose alignment? In that dimension or that energy body I'm going to teach you about, there's 4 power points in it. They're in the key energy body that aligns you with your life purpose. So I'll go over those with you, and we'll practice connecting with one of them. And then more, if you want to go deeper into this work and learn how to do it, the 6-week online group journey that I have designed to help you learn to do this work. Okay, who am I? If you haven't met me yet, I am Shelley Harrison. I am a professionally trained energy healer, and I have a specialization in trauma healing, both personal and generational trauma. So I trained in energy healing over 4 years of training at a school called the Barbara Brennan School of Healing. That was many a long year ago. I have 26 years of experience doing this work. I graduated from the school in 1999 at the age of 28, and I am 53 now. I also took 4 years of training in somatic experiencing, which is trauma resolution work. I do ongoing training in family constellations work, which is a beautiful way of stepping into the family energy fields to work on inherited trauma. I also studied plant spirit medicine with my elder and teacher, Elliot Cowan. I studied craniosacral therapy because I wanted to work with the body too. I'm a lifelong learner and a nature lover. What's my purpose? What have I discovered about my own purpose? My purpose is to get other humans aligned with their purpose so they accomplish what they came to do in this life, and in doing so, fulfill their part in the greater plan of evolution and growth for us human beings here on this planet. I help people go from feeling lost to found. I provide guidance on how to heal your deepest wounds and transmute that pain into your purpose. I help people get clear about their personal life task of healing, which is to heal your deepest wounds and help you do that healing. And then I help people get clear about their world task, which is the greater contribution you've come here to make. And how do you expand from your personal life task, which is working on your deepest wounds, into your world task? How do you get from the initial work into this greater expansion into your contribution? And my mission is to save the world by getting everyone aligned with their life purpose so we can all work as an awesome team. All right, it's a few different ways that you may have already tried to discover more about who you are, what you're working with, what your mission is. I'm guessing a lot of you may have explored astrology. I love astrology myself, and it really is a map of all the different particular energy makeup that you're working with, and then how the continual movements of the planets energetically guide you and move you. One thing I know I personally find challenging about astrology is it's a lot unless you go into depth with it. And if you really start tracking the movements of the planets like every day and every week, it can just start to feel like a lot to take in about how you're constantly shifting and moving. I find it can get a little bit overwhelming. There's something called human design. I don't know if any of you have worked with that. I haven't yet, but I'm fascinated by it. It's also, I think, another way to look at what your energetic makeup is. You may have done personality and aptitudes tests like Myers-Briggs, the Enneagram. The ways that I help you discover your life purpose is to just directly align with it in your energy field and work from the inside out to move yourself more into your purpose. And I also teach something around soul guides, which are the archetypes that are shaping exactly how you show up in your life purpose. I'm not covering that in this talk, and I do teach a separate course called Decode Your Life Purpose, where we will read all those archetypal energies you're working with. So other ways I help you know your life purpose, I can work with you on this in one-to-one healing work in the Pain to Purpose journey, where we start with where you're at, healing your deepest wounds. And through knowing your story and getting to know you, I start to see the themes that are threaded through your life that are part of that greater purpose. I teach you the full picture of who you are and how you work by including your energy reality. So not just your physical body, not just your mind, not just your emotions, but how all of that is moving moment to moment through your energy field. And I teach you how to work with and connect with those parts of yourself. And then this is about the life purpose alignment journey, where we're going to go specifically into that energy body that is your alignment. And then I already spoke about the decode your life purpose journey. Why are we going to do this through energy healing? Why am I taking this life purpose work down to what's in your energy field? Because you are primarily a being of energy, spirit, consciousness. Yep, we look like we're physical bodies, but quantum physics has now proven that energy precedes matter, and our true reality is this deeper energy consciousness that animates us. Our physical body is actually just the most dense expression of that energy. Even physicists know now energy precedes matter. Energy gives rise to our material reality. Your energy reality and energy bodies are very organized and rational. You make sense, and I'm going to show you that map today. Energy healing provides the perfect map of how you work and what you are here to do. And the map is real. You can see, feel, sense, attune to it right in your body. It's not just a conceptual framework of mental ideas, it's the truth. And you may say, but I can't see it. Part of what I teach people when I teach energy healing is how you perceive what's here. But it really is there. I read energy fields all the time. And so we're not using a symbolic map. It's literally, we can watch the changes in your energy field as you do this work. And you will learn how to feel the changes. Okay, so let's look at where your life purpose is held in your energy field. But first, we have to talk about the 5 dimensions of humankind. This is the map. This is the map of how we're built as human beings in our deeper realities. So your energy reality and energy bodies are very organized and rational. One gives rise to another. And I'll show you pictures of these in the next slide, because a picture's worth 1,000 words, and it won't make sense until you have a visual. But basically, we start in the void. This is the unmanifest dimension where consciousness hasn't come forward from the unmanifest black velvet void yet. Very cool dimension to work with. Love it. Then your divine essence, your light, arises from within that void. This is the true essence of who you are. It's your spark of the divine. Then that consciousness moves into the dimension of intentionality or your life purpose. This is called the Hara. This is primarily what we're going to work with. Then that intention moves out into expression into what is really like your personality self, the 7 levels of your auric field, where you're responding and moving and relating and emoting and thinking, where everything is moving in response to your life experience. And of course, then that shows up and becomes, it gives rise to the most dense expression, your physical body. So let's see what that looks like visually. So this is an image I borrowed from Barbara Brennan's 3rd book called Core Light Emerging. So you can have this beautiful illustration if you have a copy of that book. So of course, the physical body, pretty easy to perceive that one. This is an artist's, basic impression of the 7 layers of your aura. And if you've worked with chakras before, chakras exist on this level. They're part of the auric field. They're part of how you're metabolizing energy from the universal energy field to feed your energy field, your aura, as well as your physical body. Then deeper than the aura, you could say underneath it, in a deeper dimension. This is the Hara dimension, which contains the Hara line. So the artist has tried to show that here as this gold laser beam that drops right through the plumb line of your body. This is the Hara line. And this is your alignment or misalignment with your life purpose. And in this picture, the artist has tried to symbolically depict the 4 power points that the Hara line is connected to. This is the molten core of the earth. There's a point in your pelvis called the Dantian. This energy point in your chest called the soul seat. And this little kind of pyramid shaped point up above your head, and it's higher than the artist was able to draw it. It's actually 3.5 feet above your head, called the identification point. I'll go over that more in detail in a few slides from now, but it's great to just have this basic image of what we're going to work with. Take a minute to just kind of gaze at that and know that that is inside of you. It is always there. You just haven't been taught how to perceive it. You just haven't been taught how to notice it. And to kind of sink your awareness into that connection. And then this is an artist's depiction of your core star, or that beautiful light of your divine essence, your spirit, your soul, that has been traveling through many lifetimes, many incarnations, the essence of who you are, that wells up and then percolates down into the Hara, percolates down into the 7 layers of the aura, and percolates down into your physical body. And where your light gets blocked from the core star getting through is where you have blockages in your energy field and challenges in your life or your health. It's where this essential light within you is not able to be received, to well up, and to kind of get through. And this is the void, or I don't think it's possible to draw an image of the void unless you like to look at images of black holes in the universe, but I think this image kind of gives you an evocative sense of, well, the ground of being from which our light arises. And there's entire courses I teach on this, but too much to dive into in just working with life purpose. Just a little aside, where does this information come from? So I trained at the Barbara Brennan School of Healing for 4 years. This is Barbara Brennan. She died just recently in 2022. She was a very famous American healer and channel, more famous, more well-known in the 80s and 90s. Definitely one of the big pioneers in energy medicine. She was actually a physicist. She studied atmospheric physics and worked for NASA for a while. So she was a scientist. Her clairvoyant senses began to open up. So she studied massage and counseling. She left her job at NASA to kind of follow her longing, follow her purpose. And she started to see the auric field and do deeper spiritual practice and personal work. So she started to be able to perceive energies and then learn how to work with that. Her guides showed her this unique model of the human energy field and how to do very specific healing techniques on the different levels of the field. So everything that was taught at the Barbara Brennan School of Healing was really original to Barbara. She brought it through as she was working as a healer as a form of guidance or channeling. She had a healing practice in New York City for over 20 years. And everything that she learned and discovered became the body of work she taught at the Barbara Brennan School of Healing. School started in 1982. It grew, and there were a large body of teachers. I was a student from 1995 to 1999. Barbara was still teaching at the school at that time, but it was a very big school, so it's not like I got to hang out with Barbara personally. There were 700 students when I was there. It was kind of in its heyday. The student body now refers it to its Camelot age when I was at the school. And there was an international student body of 700 students and about 70 teachers. So it was pretty awesome going to school. Pretty mind-blowing being in a room with 700 people sometimes and doing energy healing work together. The school was purchased by a longtime teacher named Lisa Van Ostrand a few years ago, maybe 7 to 10 years ago now. And it's still running and still teaching and still offering its 4-year program as well as graduate studies. Oh, and it did that last time I did that too. Hang on, it likes to jump pages there. There we go. So Barbara Brennan's published 3 different books. Many people have come across Hands of Light. This was the first one she wrote that came out, can't see the dates here, but 1987. She doesn't talk about Hara line and life purpose alignment in her first book because she didn't know about it yet. She hadn't received that piece of the work. So the first book is really all about the 7 levels of the aura and chakras. Then she continued to evolve, she continued to learn. And in her second book, which is normally what I recommend people buy, there's an entire chapter on the Hara dimension and an entire chapter on Core Star. And when I work with my clients one-on-one, I actually give them a copy of this book so that you can study, learn, and understand as we work together. And then she always used to talk at school about so many other things that she'd learned that she really wanted to write a book about. And she sort of collated some of those teachings and finally got a final book out in 2017. Okay, so let's get back to this part of you that is aligned or misaligned with your life purpose. This dimension beneath your aura and chakras called Hara dimension or the Hara line. What is going on this level? It is an entire dimension of being. And as we start to work with it, you start to really feel that. It's like you've gone somewhere else than your day-to-day functioning in your aura, where you're having thoughts and feelings and emotions and experiences. Hara is the dimension of intent, intentionality, positive aligned intention or negative misaligned intention. Yep. Intention's not just a fancy new age mental idea. It is an energy reality that can be felt, observed, and adjusted. So I know in modern spirituality, the idea of aligning your intention, setting your intention, became very popular and really popularized by a book that Wayne Dyer wrote. I'm going to guess probably 20 years ago now, that had intention in the title. I can't remember the title of the book. If someone knows it, you can pop it in the chat. So there's no emotion on this level. It is just intentionality, which can be very refreshing. If you're the kind of person who often feels really bowled over or overwhelmed by the emotions that well up inside of you, it's really nice to know how to sink down into your intention level and just kind of calm the waters and move out of that emotional storm. It's a very simple dimension to work with too, which is why I love teaching this one even to beginners. I find it easier to teach and easier to work with even than chakras and aura. It's just a gold energy line that goes straight down through the plumb line of your body. And it has 4 power points along it that are part of its energy anatomy. It is very simple. I'm going to show you a bit more about those 4 power points in a moment. Hara alignment or misalignment affects the level of the aura and the physical body. In other words, when something goes out of alignment on the level of the Hara, it pulls your auric field with it. When something goes into alignment, when you come into greater alignment in your Hara, it also brings the auric level into more coherence because they all work together. If you're out of alignment in your Hara, you may have physical misalignments in your physical body. Whereas when you bring the hara back into alignment, it will facilitate the correction of physical misalignments. Chiropractors should know this, shouldn't they? Healing. How do we heal on this level? So because you may have had the experience of laying on of hands energy healing, whether that's through Reiki or another modality. Maybe you've worked with a Barbara Brennan healer, where we will channel energy through our hands to balance, clear, and repair your energy field. How can you bring alignment on this level? How can you heal things if they're misaligned on this level? Only intention affects this level. Or martial arts, where the teacher has a really clear awareness of chi flow and knows how to affect it, can work with this level. So when I do a hara healing with someone, there's a very specific and particular healing that I was taught to do at the Brennan School in my 4th year of training. It's quite advanced work. I can't just reach my hands into your energy field and go, oh, I'll just put this over here and put that over there and line your hara line up and you're fixed. It doesn't work. It's the level of intention. The only way I can affect you on this level is to align my hara and hold that very strongly. In a way, it's like reminding your hara of what alignment feels like. So I can't manipulate it with my hands. I have to resonate it with you. Very interesting aspect of this level of our being. And I'm curious, some of you may have done martial arts where you've been taught to work with that power point in your belly. It's often just referred to as the hara in the belly. When Barbara first started channeling about this dimension, she went and looked at the literature to see if there was a correlation. And of course, in Eastern practices, martial arts practices, Eastern medical practices that work with chi or energy flow, there's a lot of reference to hara being a place in the belly or work with the dantian. But she didn't find anything that had the whole line, that had the entire line and all the points illustrated. And if you know differently and you've seen other systems, if they've come at since 1980, they may have borrowed it from Barbara Brennan. But if you're aware of ancient practices that work with this, I would love to know about it. You can pop that in the chat too. So I have a few little fun, what's on my next page here? Hang on a sec. No, let's go back. So I have a few fun props here just to kind of, a flat 2-dimensional picture doesn't help you so much, does it? It gives you a bit of an image what we're working with here, but let me illustrate it a little bit more. So this point in your pelvis is about this big, about the size of a golf ball, and it's gold. And it's deep in the center of your pelvis, and it's about 1.5 inches below your belly button. And this is the point that we're going to practice connecting to today. So if I was going to stand up and give you a pelvic view here, here's my belly button, and it's like it's sitting deep in my pelvis, right about here in my body. This point in the chest, and I'll show you a better picture of it in a moment. If you could see it, it looks like a purple blue diffuse light emanating from your chest. And it's not the heart, it's higher than the heart, and it's not the throat. But if you find your sternocleidomastoid notch right now, this is the place where your clavicles kind of meet up here, and you drop down 1.5 to 2 inches. I sometimes call this the necklace point. Because sometimes when we wear a necklace, it hangs right here. Here's this fabulous Christmas decoration that I have that kind of illustrates what it looks like. It's just this purpley blue diffuse light that emanates back and front. I can't really show it in the back body. And it carries your longing. Barbara called it the soul seat. And then the line itself if you take your pinky finger, the dimension of that laser beam is about half the dimension of your pinky finger. So it's quite a concentrated, focused laser beam of gold energy, or about this big. This is just some gold cord. Oh, I can line it right up with my midline here too. This gold cord, it's about that thick. And this point above your head, way up above your head, 3.5 feet above your head, the crown of your head, it's this tiny little point that looks like a little upside down chakra or a pyramid. And it's about this big. This is my little golden paper model of it with the Hara line passing through it. So it's got an open end that's about 1/4 of an inch across, quite small, and the pointy end goes up. It's way up above your head. That's the identification point. And this down here, you're deeply, 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 deeply connected to the literal molten core of the earth. The molten core of the earth, what we think of as the hot burning lava in the center of the earth, not a geologist. It's like the earth's Dantian. It's like this point for the planet. And we actually have an energetic connection to it. And if you don't believe me, I'm not going to work on that part tonight. But when you manage to connect your Hara line down into that point, you will get hot and you will feel the amplification of charge in your energy field. You'll feel it when you get that connection. So great, there it is. But how is it going to be helpful for us to connect with this energy line, this dimension of intentionality that lives inside of you? It will help you get clear about your intention, which underlies all your actions and motivations. You will learn to follow your longing, which sits in the soul seat. I'm going to put my soul seat back on. Sometimes I glue it here. To follow your longing and trust it to take you where you need to go for your growth and fulfillment. And the purpose of our soul seat, why this almost emotional feeling point lives in this dimension of our being, it holds our longing. And you are meant to follow your longing. That thing you've always wanted to do, that place you've just always imagined going to, or that way you've wanted to feel or be, that longing, you are meant to follow that. And as you follow it, it is meant to lead you step by step deeper into your purpose. So it's very important to be able to feel it, tune into it, and then have the courage to actually take the steps and follow it. Working with your Hara gets you deeply grounded. This point in your pelvis, this Dantian, holds your intention to be in a physical body. So when you strengthen and charge your intention to be here, incarnated in this physical body, you will get grounded in your body. You will feel more present. I've had a lot of students report that they get really good at setting boundaries when they start to strengthen this point. This is the kind of, pardon my language, don't fuck with me point. My space, my body, I'm here. Occupy. Working with it will charge your energy field and thus vitalize your body. And it's the easy, non-mental way to make sure you live your life on purpose. Instead of having to figure it out mentally, you just start to align and you keep returning to that, and it's going to start to shape your energy field and move you in the direction of your purpose. So a lot of people, as they work with it, the clarity comes in terms of aha moments of like, oh, that's it, or oh, that direction. Or sometimes synchronicities start to show up in your life where what's on path for you kind of starts to arrive. A little side note about your physical body. Your physical body is important because many people say, well, how am I going to learn how to do this? I don't see energy. I don't see energy fields. I'm not clairvoyant. Don't worry about it. If you can feel your physical body, you can do this work. Why? Because all of these energy bodies land in your physical body. It's the container and the landing pad for all your energy bodies. So it's the first point of perception. If you can learn to feel sensation, you'll be able to learn how to feel this, and you'll be able to learn how to feel changes that you're making in it as you work with it. And your physical body arises from your energy consciousness bodies, not the other way around. And most healthcare is focused on this level, even though the reason why things ended up the way they are in your body started long before with blockages in your energy bodies, because they come first. So that's part of why energy healing is so powerful. We're getting more to root cause and origin and trying to touch into things before they show up in the physical body. What will happen when you connect with your Hara and Hara line and you learn to align? It's a couple of comments from students I have worked with. I'm going to get to the doing it part real soon. So Amber says, Hara work was very exciting to do with really impactful results. The Hara sessions were very different from the personal sessions we did before, energy healing sessions, much more peaceful. The results would happen afterwards. I started to question everything because I was not being true to myself. I was not living true to my essence and purpose. It was really profound and really scary at times, but I always felt like there was support from that Hara work. So Emperor was someone I worked with for a period of time, going through a really challenging time. And as we started to do emotional clearing, but then go deeper into this Hara work, it was many years ago, but she is definitely on track and keeps moving deeper and deeper into her life purpose. She's actually studied energy healing herself now. So Caitlin, for me, my goal was just to connect to me. I never really wanted to go inside. I could always push energy out there or be there for others, but I never wanted to connect with myself inside. I found with Hara work, I was really able to connect more to actually me and the feelings I have. I'd never done that. Usually I see things in energy fields, but I could never feel the energy and feel the shifts. So taking things that dimension deeper really helped her come more in touch with sort of the reality of her own being and the reality of energy. Our work with Hara gave me clarity, but what it gave me the most is assertiveness. Having the ability to know that I have boundaries and there's nothing wrong with me enforcing those boundaries has allowed me to step back with all the chaos that's happening around work and my family and say, that's not for me. Clarity and intention, clarity with boundaries, coming into, yep, this is in alignment for me. Nope, that's not. I was feeling a lot of anxiety about life before this course. I feel a much greater sense of ease and security in my body, grounding into that intention to be in a body. A greater sense of security in being alive. A feeling of calmness and strength that I can tap into when needed. And feeling like I can open up for the things I long for instead of pushing into them or wishing for them. Almost like allowing them to come to the surface and then honor them with breath and energy. One more here. My confidence and faith in myself have increased. I have a renewed trust in the process of life and that I am on my path, even though my life purpose is still not completely clear for me. I trust that with ongoing and regular practice of the tools I have learned, I will gain more clarity. So, just to go over those points again and how I teach them in the 6-week class. Class number 1, we just get grounded, meet each other, and I teach you just a particular breath that will help you sharpen your perception, charge up your field, and just have more clarity of perception when you begin to work with Hara. Basically just get grounded in our bodies, class 1. Class 2, we will learn to go deeply into the Dantian and talk about, is this point distorted for you? Is it good? How are you doing here? Feeling into that. Then we go down and ground into the molten core. And then we come back up and add the soul seed. And then we go all the way up to the identification point in class 5. And then class 6, the final one, we connect them all together and focus on the line, feeling whether the line is misaligned, broken, tangled up somewhere. It takes some practice to get all of this. I could teach you the whole thing in an hour, but most people can't hold it. It's a bit like you have to build up your energy muscles to be able to hold and concentrate on all 4 points and the whole line all at once. So I like to teach it 1 week at a time, so you kind of get the 6 weeks to build up your energy muscles so that it becomes easier to hold and align the whole thing all at once. So your heart line holds the key and the missing piece to your life purpose. So it's already there. You have it. It's right there. It's in your body. It's right in your energy field. It's right at your fingertips, but no one taught you it was there or how to connect with this most precious form of guidance that aligns you up from the inside out. If you are ready to learn and reconnect, we're going to go into the Dantian right now. Ha, good. Are we ready? Up to you whether you would like to turn your video on and be recorded as we do this. I might be able to sense and perceive you even without your video on, but let me have a sip of water. So, when we work together in class, if you choose to join me in the 6-week class, we will mostly do this work in standing so that your legs can be included, so that it's easy for your pelvis to be aligned. But for tonight, you can stand if you wish, but if you're seated, come to the edge of your seat so that your feet can be flat on the ground. It's easier to align your spine. And most importantly, particularly for working with this energy point, you can adjust the tip of your pelvis. You can roll it forward or backward. And you may want to take a moment now just to even do that, just kind of rocking, tucking your tailbone under, and then lifting it up and tipping your pelvis forward. Let's do that slowly and start to take your attention into your physical body, particularly in your pelvis. Is there any physical pain here? Low back pain, challenges with your hip joints? How mobile does your lower spine feel? And then if you just let your pelvis kind of settle, what's your natural posture? I love that, Melissa, that somehow the light in your room is already putting a beam right down through you. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, line it up, line up with the light, Melissa. So you might notice, do you have a pelvic habit of being more tipped forward, more tucked under, or are you pretty balanced? And just take a minute to just kind of settle down into your physical body. Let your weight come onto your sitting bones. When we do this work in class, I will encourage you to keep your eyes open. It's not so easy to do that with a computer screen in front of your face, but if you want to turn away from the computer screen, you can. Why? Because with our eyes open, just maybe softly gazing at the floor, you tend to stay more grounded in your body. Whereas when we close our eyes, we have a bit of a tendency to kind of lift up into our imagination. Now find your belly button. You can tuck a fingertip into your belly button. And then measure about 1.5 inches below your belly button. And just to warm up this area, I'll give you another pelvic shot here. I want you to take your thumbs into your belly button and just point your fingertips down. This is called Yoni Mudra. Just let the fingertips touch and you'll feel nice warmth from your hands. Just start to warm up your belly. Take a few deep breaths. Let the shoulders soften. And those fingertips connected at the bottom of the triangle, they may be right at your dantian. Probably they're a bit low, so measure 1.5 inches below the navel and then take your fingers together in this position. Kind of like really focused fingertips. I have my thumb and my first 2 fingers together. And I'm going to sink those right into that point 1.5 inches below my belly button. So it's like kind of like intentionally pointing into the dantian. Then you imagine that you have energy fingertips that can extend deeper than the physical, and just sink your fingers into this gold ball of energy deep in the pelvis. Now remember, we can only work with Hara through intention. So set your intention to tune into, connect with, sense, feel, perceive your dantian. Set your intention to sink your energy fingers deep into this point in your body that holds your intention to be in your physical body. And you want to imagine, feel, sense gold energy. This is filled with gold energy. Just imagine a beautiful golden ball of light, breathing gold. Keeping the fingers sharp and focused. Deepening your intention to be in your physical body. And you want to intend this gold ball of light to be right in the center of your pelvis. Ways that we may distort or misalign our dantian is it comes forward in our body and that causes our pelvis to tip forward. And we're rushing into life. And now we have low back strain. Or we may pull the dantian further back in our pelvis, which tends to curl our tailbone under. Now we're holding back. We're afraid to move forward. And we have a different kind of back strain. So intend this gold ball right, there you go. You guys got it. I can feel that when you click in. Deep into the center. Good, and we're not going to do the whole Hara line, but pick your spine up as though someone's picking you up by the hair in the very center of your head. And just have a sense that that gold laser beam is there, passing right through the center of this dantian into the earth, way above your head. And just let your body sort of center around that gold laser beam with your intention. That's it. Beautiful, Melissa. That looks great. Soften your lower back just a bit more, Melissa, like just the muscles. And it's sometimes hard to do in sitting, but particularly up where those back muscles connect to your rib cage. See, there you go. See if you can just soften that just a hair. Good, you got it. Breathing's good because energy is life and life breathes and moves. Setting your intention to be grounded, centered. There's a gold membrane around the dantian that helps to contain it. It does sometimes get damaged, so you can also intend this energy point to be wrapped and surrounded in beautiful, resilient gold light. Where the mind goes, energy flows. So just intend and imagine. And, our little voice of doubt will often come in too, going, am I getting it? Am I making it up? I'm not feeling anything. It's okay. Even just the beginning practice of kind of physically centering this point is a good place to start. When you do connect, you usually start to feel some heat. And just take one more minute to just feel your alignment through your whole spine, your whole body. Anywhere you collapse, can you just draw that up a bit without becoming rigid and set your intention to come into this amazing physical body you have to be here on earth. Intend it, don't will it. Good, and then take a rest. So you can release your hands. Some people also will connect. The hand positions are very classically what we were taught at Barbara Brennan. Some people connect better without using the hand positions, just sensing, picturing, feeling that golden ball deep within the pelvis. That's part of what you learn during classes, what helps you get it, what helps you connect, make adjustments. And there we are, all with our little golden dantians suspended on the hara line. And then of course the hara line continues down into the molten core. Your dantian's not faceted like that, but I thought that was a fun image. Did you notice anything as you worked to connect with your dantian? If there was something you felt or sensed or had a question about, pop it into the chat. No, for me, I just feel slightly calmer and a slight warmth. A lot more relaxation in my low back. It's deeper than just relaxation though. It's almost like some rigidity has melted deep in my spine. Great. Melissa said I got really hot. Maybe it was a hot flash. Hard to say. I find the heat that comes from working with dantian feels different than a hot flash. I get hot flashes sometimes too, and that has a sweatier intensity to it, a hot flash, where for me, hara feels like more of like this kind of deep warmth. But it is one of the best ways to know if you're really starting to get it is if you start to feel some heat in your body. All right, so that was like a baby demo. When we work together in class, we will spend at least 20 minutes of our class actually dropping in and doing the energy practices. So you get a nice deep infusion of it. Each class is actually really like giving yourself a miniature energy healing session. You'll definitely feel pretty awesome afterwards. If this is something that you do want to learn, you do want to do this step by step, really grounding this in your body, really aligning your life purpose, there's a course. And what will I do with you in luminous life purpose alignment? So it's energy healing work, just like the little piece we did, but deeper. And you learn to do within yourself. So I'm not teaching you how to do hands-on healing with other people. If you want to do this work on other people, you take 4 years of Barbara Brennan school. We don't learn how to do this particular healing until the 4th year. It's quite advanced work. But you have a Hara line inside of you. So I personally think you ought to learn how to work with it. It's yours and you should own it. So we're going to build up your energy muscles week by week over the 6 weeks. You can hold your whole Hara line all at once and charge it. There's a weekly live coaching call with me, so I will give you lots of feedback. I can read your energy field even on a Zoom call, even if I can't see your whole body. If I can see part of your body, I can pick up your field and I'll be able to tell you exactly what you're doing. And so when you share with me, I'm feeling this, I'll take a look at your field and be like, yeah, here's what's happening. So you get that validation and feedback about what you're feeling, so you know you're doing it right and it makes it real for you. That's the difference between learning it from a book, right? There is also an aspect that there's an energy transmission. Because I've been doing this work for 26 years, because I received the transmission directly from Barbara and the school, it's a little bit like giving you a radio transmission to help tune you in to the frequency. It's pretty easy to learn, but it really is going to help if you're going to practice daily or a few times a week. And part of the coursework is I have little guided audio practices, kept them really short. They're 5 to 7 minutes each that you can turn on daily and just drop in and do it again and do it again and do it again. Like any learning, the more we repeat, the more we kind of install the program. Doing this work is going to change you from within. It reawakens your purpose, your passion, and your soul seat, and your inspiration up in the ID point. And once you start to light up, like attracts like in the world of energy. You're going to complete the course able to confidently do your own daily Hara alignment practice. You know, it takes 15 or 20 minutes to do it daily, and you're going to feel like you know what you're doing and you know how to tap in once you've done the course. So you can keep practicing, because it stops working if you stop practicing. Although doing 6 weeks of concentrated work is going to kickstart something in your life. I trust and believe. And the more you do it, the more your life heads in the right direction. More shares from alumni. We're running short on time, so I'm not going to read those to you right now. They're on the website page if you wanted to read them. And just quickly again, class 1, you meet your classmates. I'll go over the 5 dimensions of humankind in a little more depth, so you can really have this understanding of how you work. And settle and ground in your body and prepare for energy healing work and learn to charge your energy field with breath. Class 2, boundaries and grounding. We're going to work on the Dantian. You'll learn how to feel and charge your Dantian and look at what blocks it, right? None of us have perfect energy fields and none of us are perfectly aligned. So we have to look like, what is going on? Why is that misaligned? Why is that undercharged? What's the life issue here that this is mirroring back to you? Class 3, we're going to go down into the molten core and get more power and look at why might you not be doing that? Are you afraid of having more power? Are you afraid of having more presence? Class 4, go up to the soul seat. Oh, there's that soul seat. And we're going to feel into your longing, really remembering what your longings are, bringing those forward. If you haven't been allowed to really let yourself feel into that, going to really macerate and soak in your longings and write them down, because some of them may start to come back to the surface. Class 5 will go up to the ID point above the head. This is where you connect to the sacred, your divine, your Godhead, inspiration from above. And then class 6 will learn to bring it all together, learn to hold in standing all 4 points, the whole line, and look at any misalignments in the line itself. Holding it all in integrity. So if you decide to join me, here's the course fees. It's a 6-week course and the early bird ends May 17th. It's $555 Canadian. If you miss the deadline, it's a little more expensive. And then there's a healing package upgrade that you could take. what's included in the course. So we have 6 weekly online coaching calls of an hour and a half each, where you get to connect with your classmates, get my feedback, practice together, ask questions, look at where the blocks are and what that might be about, and get my read on that. 6 video tutorials that you get each week. They're short. I've kept them short. They're usually 10, 12 minutes each. And guided audio practices that you can listen to on your phone daily, so you can keep practicing what you're learning, and some worksheets to look at how you think you're doing in your Hara line. And if you want even more help, if you really want to get lined up, the healing package upgrade means that you get 3 personal healing sessions with me in addition to the course. They're an hour and a half each. We can do them online or in person. I live in Wakefield, Quebec. What's a Hara healing? I lie you down on the table, and there's a very specific hands-on healing I do to deeply line up and charge and realign the points in your Hara line. It's a very potent healing, and it's very specialized to the Barbara Brennan School. We can also go over your classwork too, and if you have more questions, then we'll practice Hara one-on-one together so you can get particular feedback. Do you have any questions? I'm sorry, we're a little over time, but if there's questions that you still have, please drop them in the chat, or you're welcome to just open up your mic and shout it out. May still be digesting all of that. It's a little bit paradigm blowing when we learn that we have these dimensions inside of ourselves, and sometimes you have to just shake your head and go, wow, that was a lot of information. And by the way, I'm happy to send you out this slideshow for you to read over again, if that will be helpful. You can just email me to request that, or the video will be posted. So you can do this work yourself. The chapter in Light Emerging, chapter 17, describes and even shows pictures of how to do a standing Hara alignment healing for yourself. This is good. The drawback is it's hard to know you're getting it right without feedback. It's best to keep the lineage of the teaching pure and refer back to source material. So definitely refer back to the book. We'll read it during the course, but definitely learn it from someone who went to the school. I have 7 years of experience with this work, and I've given hundreds, if not thousands by this point, of Hara healings. So again, there's that transmission aspect. The practice is written down in Barbara Brennan's book, though. So if budget's a challenge, or you're a do-it-yourselfer, start there. And then maybe book a personal session to check in and see how you're doing with it. Or you can do the work with the support of a group, because group practice is going to amplify the energy, and it makes it easier to feel it. Many energy fields together working at the same time, it makes it stronger and easier to feel, and it more strongly aligns you, because we affect each other through our intention. When we're all aligned, we help pull each other deeper into alignment. You're going to learn from other people's experiences and sharing. They're going to have similar questions and struggles, and it's just more fun and rich to share the experience with others who are interested in this work and interested in getting on course with their life purpose. It's really nourishing to meet other seekers. I can give you feedback and help in the group and validate what you're feeling. And you can get even more personal attention and deep healing if you wanted to do the healing package upgrade. So if this is something you would love to do, first of all, make sure you can make those 6 live coaching calls. They'll be recorded and I'll send them out, but you'll miss the richness of the personal feedback if you're not able to make at least most of them. They'll be Thursday nights, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We start next May 22nd. I'm going to close enrollment on May 20th, so we have time to get coursework to everybody, get you oriented, get you ready to rock. And just go to my website, shelleyharrison.ca/life purpose alignment. And I'll send that link out to you afterwards as well, in case you can't find it. So thank you so much for your time, so much for coming. I wish you much alignment going forward. I hope this information is illuminating and helpful for you. Even if it's something that you don't start to do, I think it's really important for you to know there is a particular intention that you've come here in this incarnation to align with. There is a particular thing you are here to do, and it is your personal life task to heal. Maybe part of that healing is including getting into deeper alignment and looking at clearing negative intentions and getting into positive intention. And there is a greater meaning to your life and something that is yours and that only you can do in this lifetime or be. Remember, it's not necessarily a bunch of more actions. And if you have any more questions, please send them to me by email.